Hi, my name is Aina. For our group presentation, we are going to discuss about peatland fires. So, what is peatland fires? Peatland fires are fires that occurs in peatlands, which are naturally swamp ecosystem containing thick layers of accumulated organic matter, which is peat, that is formed from past tropical swamp vegetation that has not fully decomposed. These fires are particularly problematic because peat, originally submerged in water, become exposed during dry seasons and is highly flammable. Once ignited, peat fires tend to smolder underground, consuming biomass that can be up to 15 times larger than that consumed by surface flames. These smoldering fires are very difficult to extinguish and can persist for weeks or even months. Malaysia has also experienced peatland fires that is located in North Selangor peat swamp forest, covering Kuala Selangor and Sabak Benang. The combination of peatland drainage, agricultural conversion, notably oil palm cultivation, land clearing and burning practices are the primary causes of peatland fires in Selangor. These factors degrade the peat ecosystem, making it prone to smoldering fires that are difficult to control. These activities that cause peatland fires has results in loss of rare flora and fauna, carbon dioxide emission and air pollution.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Faisha Bakis. For the first part of our evidence, we refer to the Global Environment Centre or GEC. GEC is actively involved in peatland rehabilitation in Selangor and has published many reports and maps about the Raja Musa Forest Reserve. According to the study, drainage for agriculture, especially oil palm plantation, causes the peat soil to dry up, making it highly flammable. This leads to underground peat fires, which are difficult to extinguish. Over time, this fire destroy biodiversity, degrade the forest, and increase the risk of haze. This is why conservation and re-rating projects are so important in this area. Next, we look at data from Department of Environment Malaysia or DOE. The Raja Musa Forest Reserve is part of a large peatland area in Selangor, covering over 81,000 hectares. It's the second largest peat swamp forest in Peninsular Malaysia. Peatland are extremely valuable because they store carbon, support biodiversity, and help control flood. However, in the past, fires caused the drainage and land clearing severely degrade part of the rivers. For example, in 2013 and 2014, major fires contribute to serious haze episodes across the region. These events show the urgent need for continuous rehabilitation and water table restoration. In this part, we include real satellite fire data to provide stronger evidence. NASA firm use MODIS and BIO330 satellite to detect fire hotspot. These thermal sensors have confirmed repeated fire clusters in the North Selangor peat swamp forest, especially during dry or El Nino periods. Sentinel-2 satellite helped us map burn scars and even track smoke plumes, while Sentinel-1 radar detects surface change after fires, such as land sinking due to burnt peat. This technology helps authorities and researchers monitor fire risks, track active fires, and even warn about haze. The maps below show actual fire hotspots and highlight the urgency to protect and manage this vulnerable ecosystem. These three sources, GEC, the Department of Environment, and satellite fire data, clearly show that peatland fire in Selangor are real, recurring, and dangerous, but also preventable with the right rehabilitation and monitoring efforts. Now, let's look at the environmental impact of peatland fires and land conversion in the North Selangor peat swamp forest. If we compare satellite maps from 1986 to 2016, we can clearly see a massive loss of forest cover. Much of the natural peat swamp forest has been converted into oil palm plantation and mixed agricultural land. This deforestation has led to the loss of critical habitats for wildlife, including species like otters, hornbill, and unique swamp plants that depend on the weak peat condition. When the forest is clear and the peat is drained, the soil becomes dry and unstable. Over time, it starts to sink, a process called peat subsidence. This not only increases the risk of more intense and frequent fires, but also makes the land harder to restore in the future. Show that without proper protection and rehabilitation, we risk losing not just forest, but the entire ecosystem and its long-term benefits.
Hi everyone, my name is Tanya, and in this video, I will be presenting about the key stakeholders, policies and issues involved in protecting peatland area in Selangor. Peatlands are important ecosystems that store carbon, prevent floods and support biodiversity. But they face serious threats such as fires, haze and land development. There are several main stakeholders involved in managing and protecting peatlands. The Forestry Department of Selangor is responsible for managing forest and peatland reserves, ensuring that conservation rules are followed. Oil palm smallholder and plantation companies are also key stakeholders, as their farming activities can damage peatland health if not done sustainably. The Fire and Rescue Department, also known as BOMBA, plays a critical role in responding and to controlling peatland fires. Environmental NGOs such as the Global Environment Centre (GEC) and Wetland International support conservation efforts, raise awareness and work with communities to protect these sensitive areas. Local communities are also highly important. They are the ones most directly affected by fires and haze and often help in preventing and reporting illegal burning activity. Now let's moving on to the part of policy. Several policies are in place to protect peatlands. The National Action Plan on Peatlands (NAP) is Malaysia's main policy that provides guidelines for sustainable management and conservation of peat areas. On the regional level, the Asian Agreement on Transboundary Haze Pollution aims to reduce forest fires and haze across Southeast Asia. Additionally, the Environmental Quality Act 1974 makes open burning illegal and punishable by law, helping to reduce fire risk in peatlands area. Despite these policies and efforts, several challenges remain. One major issue is weak law enforcement. Although rules exist, they are not always enforced strictly, allowing illegal land clearing and burning to continue. Another problem is the ongoing conflict between development and conservation. Economic activities like agriculture and construction sometimes take priority over protecting the environment. Lastly, some lands use plans do not properly consider peat protection zones, leading to farming or building on areas that should be preserved. What can I say is protecting peatlands in Selangor requires strong cooperation between all stakeholders, from government departments to local communities. Everyone has a role to play in ensuring that these important ecosystems are preserved for future generations.
Hi everyone, I'm Umu. Let me quickly share some practical solutions to reduce peatland fire at the North Selangor Peat Swamp Forest. First, we must re-wet the peat canal. By blocking drainage canal, we raise the water table and keep the soil wet. Wet peat doesn't burn easily. This is simple but effective. Next, we need community fire patrol. When local help monitor their area, fire can be detected early and controlled. Indonesia has proven that this works. We also need to strictly enforce zero burning policies and declare this peatland as a permanent forest reserve, so the area is protected. At the same time, we can introduce paludiculture, growing crops like sagu that thrive in wet conditions, so farmers still earn income without damaging the land. Lastly, technology is the key. Using drone, IoT sensor or satellite image help detect hotspot faster, so action can be taken immediately. However, there are a few challenges. Farmer resist change, and technology isn't cheap, but we all know that prevention is always better than dealing with haze and forest loss. With strong policies, smart solution and community involvement, I believe we can protect our peatland and reduce fire.